Tarun Tejpal, Fame, Case and the Untold Question of Wealth. On Thursday morning, it was not just a judgment being read out in the courtroom. The story of a name that once built its identity by questioning power was taking a turn right there. Tarun Tejpal, the same journalist, the same editor, the same face of Tehelka, who was once considered a symbol of sting operations and bold journalism, was now standing in the middle of a court verdict himself. But as soon as the news of the conviction in the 2013 case broke, the public's attention did not stop at the courtroom alone. A second question slowly began to surface. How rich is Tarun Tejpal after all? What is the real financial story behind the properties in Delhi and Uttarakhand, stakes in private companies, the media business and elite events? This question is not just about money. It is a question about the path where journalism, power, business, fame and accountability collide with each other. The story is about a journalist from Chandigarh who first made a place in the newsroom, then built a media brand, and then created a distinct circle of influence in the name of ideas. Tehelka was started in the year 2000. Internet journalism was new in that era, and Tehelka established itself in the name of fearless reporting. Sting operations like Operation West End suddenly brought Tehelka into the center of the national conversation. People began to consider it not just a magazine, but a voice that confronted power. However, behind every powerful brand lies a business structure as well. And in Tehelka's story, this very structure became the subject of maximum questions later on. Tarun Tejpal did not remain just an editor. He also became an author, publisher, festival curator and entrepreneur. That is, his identity expanded beyond the newsroom into business and elite culture. This is where the mystery begins. Because no clear, official, consolidated public net worth figure of his wealth is available. What is visible appears in fragments. In some places there are company shares, in others the event business, in some a private club, and in others reports related to property in Uttarakhand. Now let us return to the courtroom first. In 2013, a female colleague at Tehelka accused him of sexual assault during the ThinkFest event held in Goa. The case dragged on for a long time. In 2021, the Goa trial court acquitted Tejpal, and at that time, that judgment brought a lot of debate in itself. But in August 2026, the story took a turn. According to Reuters, the Goa bench of the Bombay High Court set aside the 2021 acquittal, held Tejpal guilty in the rape case, and sentenced him to 10 years of rigorous imprisonment. Tejpal stated that he was innocent and mentioned appealing to the Supreme Court. Meaning, the next chapter of the legal battle is yet to open. However, public memory in such cases does not look at the judgment alone. It turns back and asks, how did this man build his power? This is where the question of wealth suddenly becomes big. Because money is not just a bank balance, many times, money stays hidden in the form of access, networks and ownership. The company that published Tehelka was Anant Media. According to reports based on old corporate records, this company was in losses, while the Tehelka brand appeared very strong in public. Business Standard wrote in 2013 that the magazine was making losses, but major events like ThinkFest were being organized under a separate company, ThinkWorks. This is where the first major contradiction comes to light. A struggling media company on the outside, and a high-profile ideas festival on the inside, where corporate sponsors and big personalities were present. ThinkWorks was previously registered as Babbler Books. According to Business Standard, Tejpal held an 80% share in it, while Neena Sharma and Shoma Chaudhary held 10% stakes each. Meaning, ThinkFest was not just an editorial event, it was also a business property running through a private company. Now imagine, on one side the magazine was in losses, while on the other side an event was making a profit of the intellectual shine of the same brand. This is what makes the story not just legal, but financial as well. The names at ThinkFest were big. Writers, actors, thinkers, politicians, corporate sponsors and power circles all appeared under one roof. However, the real twist is that such gatherings do not just sell ideas. They sell access, they sell prestige, and they convert a network into currency. Then the camera turns toward Delhi. The idea of a private members club in Greater Kailash too comes up, named Proofrock. According to a 2013 report by the Indian Express, Proofrock was owned by Thriving Arts Private Limited, in which shares were given to Tejpal and his sister, Neena Tejpal. The same report stated that Chadha Hotels Private Limited invested 2 crore rupees in this company, with shares issued at a rate of 1,800 rupees per share. This was not just a club. It was an attempt to enclose Delhi's elite, conversation, dinner, art and influence within a single address. According to the report, the annual rent for the GK2 space was estimated at approximately 6.5 crore rupees. Imagine how high value a social business, a media editor's network had now become. Now the story turns toward Hill property. In the Nainital district of Uttarakhand, property reports related to Tejpal came to light in 𝐻𝐻𝐻 and surrounding areas. According to a 2017 report by 𝐼𝐺𝐻𝐻, claims related to a resort named Two Chimneys in 𝐻𝐻𝐻 and land in the Kota Baghdari belt came to light. However, caution is necessary here. Stating a final net worth by mixing property reports and legal ownership records would be wrong. This is the most honest point of this story. There are fragments of Tejpal's wealth in the public domain, but there is no verified official number for his total wealth. Some people call him the owner of crores, and some reports speak of companies and land, but the answer to exactly how rich is not found in a clear file. And this very ambiguity makes this story even more interesting, because the wealth of many influential people lies hidden not in cash but in control and structure. Old reports raised many questions regarding the shares of Anant Media as well. A report by Paranjoy Guha Thakurta mentioned Tehelka-related share transactions and share sales by family members. According to these reports, some family members sold shares at a premium while the company itself was showing losses. This is the exact place where media ethics and business opacity stand face to face. Now the question arises, how does all this connect to the case? Not directly, but it connects very deeply in terms of context. Because when an individual builds a brand by speaking the language of public morality, power, accountability and fearless journalism, their own structures cannot remain immune to questions either. The Bombay High Court judgment was not just a question of crime. The leaflet wrote in its judgment analysis that the court considered the apology emails and the survivor's testimony as key. The court also rejected the stereotype of a perfect victim. This line holds not just legal but social meaning as well. Because society often asks why the victim did this, why not that, or why there was no immediate reaction. The court challenged this very mindset. Here the story returns from the courtroom to the newsroom. In a newsroom, power does not come merely from designation, it comes from image. An editor is not just a boss. He is also a career gatekeeper, a reputation builder, and a door to a dream for many young journalists. When allegations are made at such a place, the case does not remain just a legal fight between two people. It becomes an uncomfortable question about workplace power. This is why curiosity about Tejpal's wealth and business network grows. People want to know what the financial ground of so much influence was. Was it built solely from journalism? Did events expand it? Did private companies give the brand value a different route? Here is a small pattern interrupt. Perhaps the biggest asset in this story was not land or shares. The biggest asset was access. Access to power, access to sponsors, access to intellectual circles, and access to public trust. However, that is the biggest weakness of trust. When it breaks, people start reopening and looking at the entire old story, not just the current crime. The very Tehelka that Tarun Tejpal had pitted against power later became the background for his own case and business questions. This irony is not small. A platform that demanded answers from others ultimately found itself surrounded by questions. And then the same question returns to the minds of the audience. In public life, is success ever just an achievement, or does the shadow of accountability walk along with it as well? The private club story in Delhi, ThinkFest in Goa, property reports in Uttarakhand, and shareholding in the media company, all these seem like separate dots. However, when put together, a bigger picture is formed. This picture shows how fame builds a network, how a network becomes a business, and how business comes under public scrutiny. Even so, we should not make a mistake. Stating any unverified number as net worth is easy, but it is not responsible storytelling. Therefore, the truth is that Tejpal's visible wealth appears in the form of companies, shares, events, and reported properties, but the exact wealth is not clear in public records. And perhaps this is the most important insight of this video. The real face of many powerful people's wealth lies hidden in connections, not in balance sheets. When an appeal is filed in the Supreme Court, the legal story will move forward further. But the High Court verdict has become a new turning point in public memory. Now this story is no longer just about Tejpal's punishment. It has become the story of an ecosystem where journalism, money, influence and morality end up in the same frame. On one side is the court's judgment, on the other side are old business records, and standing in between is a question that is hard to ignore. An exact answer to how rich Tarun Tejpal is will probably not be found in a single number. But how he built power, how he converted it into business, and how that same power then came before the court and public scrutiny, that is the real story.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, Don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible, but in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.